Welcome back from the break. You're watching Our Parliament and I'm your host, Iguma Gabriel. This show is brought to you with support from OSIA. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Our pages are showing at the bottom of the screen. You can even send us an SMS. Before we went for the break, a number of questions were being asked, but I'd like to find out, why Uganda? Are there other countries that were approached? What is special about Uganda?
Actually, no country has ever done this before, which is what is surprising. All the other bilateral arrangements are mutually beneficial. So, for example, that between Cuba and South Africa is an exchange program. So they send 100 doctors from Cuba and then 100 doctors from South Africa leave for Cuba. That is what happens. So this is unprecedented. It's the first time ever in the world, and you can look at this, you can do the research. It's the first time that a country has depleted its own health system in order to strengthen bilateral relations. So, and I think this actually goes to the question, how does a government official justify serving a foreign interest at the expense of his own national interest? This is really what the question is. And I also want to dispute this. This is not a government decision. This is officials in government made this decision. I do not believe that it represents government policy. It is an error. And the sooner they come around to understanding that and appreciating it and withdrawing, the better for all of us.
Maybe that's why Parliament is also surprised that this is happening
at the expense of your own.
All right, let's take a question from the audience. I have a lady at the back. Madam, your name, question or comment?
Thank you, Gabriel. My name is Daisy.
Yes, Daisy.
And my question is really brief. It's no secret that Uganda's health sector is actually wanting and has been wanting for years. And because of that, we've seen very many medical students actually survive on scholarships from outside countries. So my question is, by loaning these students to Trinidad and Tobago, aren't you discouraging these scholarships of countries that invest and facilitate the training of these students? What are they going to do now? Will they
thank you very much, Daisy.
Export?
In fact, the medical sector in Uganda is financed by donors, USAID, and a number of people put money into it. And only for us to get these people we've invested in, maybe 50 million for one doctor, and send these people off. What are we telling the world?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Let me first correct a few things. Ministry of Foreign Affairs is part of government, and we don't do anything illegal. Right?
Government is fully in the know of what's happening. That's what you're saying.
There is no official called Ambassador Muhindo who can stand here and say, I want to export some doctors to Trinidad. That's impossible. He has been there, he knows it. And he's a lawyer, by the way.
Maybe he says this because he has been there.
Secondly, I don't know how much research he has done, but we need to know that countries evolve through innovation. There is a problem here in this country where everybody says, Rwanda is doing this, Kenya is doing this. No, this is Uganda. We are sovereign. And the only way we are going to develop is to think and be innovative, not to copycat what other people are doing. So there I disagree. That because no other country has done this,
then we shouldn't do it.
The only thing we could be careful about is how we do it. But we must do something.
Okay, and what message are we sending to those who put money into our health system?
I'm coming.
Yes.
I'm coming. The idea, actually, we have had so many people approach us on this, including the Americans. We had a meeting with the American ambassador yesterday about this. But I asked him the same question. How many Ugandan doctors do you have in the US? Have you returned them? How many Trinidad and Tobago doctors are in the US? If you say that because you trained these people, it is the whole idea of one country trying to foster its national interest in another country. Just because you give me money, or let's say some of you ladies, just because you have a husband who buys your food, who pays your rent. It doesn't mean that he is supposed to tell you how to put on, how to sleep. And no, you are still an independent human being. So Uganda is saying this. Yes, thank you very much. You have trained our people. But where we feel that our national interest is, we shall deploy these people. We shall not, first of all, ask for permission from those who paid for these people.
All right, let's take another question.
Now, that is not the reason why we are saying health workers should go to Trinidad and Tobago. What we are saying is people have been going on their own. If we formalize this, people go down there for 3 years. They come back with more expertise and feed into our system. So first of all, we should understand that there are also failures on our side. We have failed to absorb these people. That's why that gentleman was complaining. We have failed to cater for them in a way. And that's why Honorable here should work with other, arms of government to make sure that the government does something to absorb all these people who have qualifications and they're still sitting at home.
Okay, let's go back to the audience. Yes, sir.
My name is Raymond.
Yes, Raymond.
My question goes to the ambassador. I'm surprised to hear you say depletion of the health system is part of innovation. Now, indeed, it's unprecedented to know that our government is taking away, maybe if you don't want us to use the word export, more than 200 health workers who've been known to be serving already, when we all know that the country is wanting. Now, you keep saying that you're part of the government. At the same time, the representative of government is next to you, and he's complaining to have never worked in partnership with you for you to continue proceeding with this process. Now, as an ambassador, if you had to choose between the interests of Ugandans, and I think Justinian tried to knock on this earlier, but I would like to hear from you about it and your stand about it. If you had to choose between the interests of Ugandans and those interests of the people of Trinidad and Tobago concerning health care, who would you favor? Because I keep hearing you defending Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, let's hear his response to that. Ambassador.
Yes, thank you very much.
I had a second question though.
Let's answer that one first.
Okay.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to correct that impression. I think I've been misunderstood. I've not said that it is right to deplete our health sector here. The question I want to know is what you mean by depletion. Because the gentleman there has just told you that there is a store of health workers who have no jobs. They have qualifications, they have no jobs. Where is the depletion? Where is the depletion?
And yet we need them.
Yes, yet you exactly. So you see. So I'm answering your question. We have, say for example, you have a store full of food, and people are starving.
So your solution is to take them away rather than
So if we are
give them
taking-
to
The
us.
solution is the solution is you first of all look at how many people, how much food you have, right?
But your advert was also saying those who are serving in the government should route their applications through their supervisors,
Yes.
meaning
And
you're also
secondly-
taking away those who are working with the government.
No,
And secondly-
actually, what we meant by that actually was to avoid what you are calling depletion, because what we wanted was to make sure that these supervisors, and that's why we involved the Minister of Health. We wanted to make sure that these supervisors don't give away the people that they need, because we realized the money element. Once we said people are going to earn this amount of money, even the supervisors would run away.
Why didn't you say?
All right, let's take another
Why
comment.
did you
Let's
say
take another
unemployed
question or
health
comment.
workers
So
apply?
the second question would be for me, because from the way he's talking, this seems to have been done under one desk, trying to work with another official from Trinidad and Tobago, since we did not know what was happening. But under what powers does the government official decide to export its own doctors to foreign countries?